Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rohan Khandelwal, your Marrow Surgery faculty. The FMG results are out, and it's my honor to introduce Dr. Adi to all of you, who secured a score of 238 in his first attempt. Heartiest congratulations, Dr. Adi. All of us in Marrow are proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Dr. Adi, why don't you tell us about your journey? Where did you do your MBBS from, and how did you prepare using Marrow for the FMG exam?
So I did my MBBS from Russia. There is a university called Smolensk State Medical University, and I graduated in last June. This is my first attempt appearing for FMGE December 23.
Great. So, when did you take up Marrow Plan C in your college, and how did you start preparing using it?
So I took up. So I was in 6 year course. I started my journey with Mero from the fourth year. So I prepared for first. I initially prepared for just seeing the videos and solving the Qbank. I just got myself oriented to all the subjects which will be there in the examination, and just preparing notes. My initial thought was only to prepare notes so that when I come to India, I will be able to revise that notes again and again. So I would be in a good position to crack the exam.
So, I think so that is excellent strategy, and that is what we recommend to all FMGs, that take up whatever course you want to take up to prepare. Make your own notes like you did, and that really helps in retention. Finish making all your notes by the sixth year, so that in the last year when you're actually preparing for the exam, you're just revising. You're not reading the subject for the first time. So excellent strategy. And when you were doing questions, were you doing questions after finishing the entire subject, or were you finishing a portion and then solving the Q bank?
No, sir. The strategy I used was that I had to solve a number of MCQs every day. For example, if I am studying general surgery today, I would solve the module maybe next morning or tonight on the same day. I would like to get oriented at what kind of questions are examiner asking, if there are any trappers, if I'm missing out on concepts, how am I able to rule out all the options. So I was testing myself on the day, same day or the next day morning, I would like to say.
That's a good strategy, because that helps in reinforcement of the same concept which you've read in the morning or you read the previous day, and it just reinforces that thing for you. Perfect. So, did you watch all the lectures on Marrow, the videos?
uh, so major subjects I did watch all the videos like OBGY and surgery, PSM, which has a majority weightage in FMG exams. Minor subjects I did from the revision videos.
Perfect. That's also a good strategy, and that is what we say. Rather than leaving any subject, for major subjects which have more weightage, you watch the main videos. For minor, you can revise using the revision videos. So there are 19 very good faculties in Marrow, but any particular faculty who's had a lasting impact on you, who's influenced you during your MBBS days?
Yes, sir. So, as I already mentioned, it's you, sir. The way you have made surgery palatable, revisable, I would like to say. And I just want to say that surgery used to be a bulky subject, which consisting of thousands of pages and not able to revise it. So you have made it very concise and to the point. Yeah. And so I would like to say a few words about medicine faculty, sir.
Absolutely.
So he said one thing during a video, that he said that if the examination is at this level, you have to prepare at this level.
Absolutely.
Then if there is paper difficulty or anything, you can score this much. If you prepare, if the level is this and you prepare this, you are not going to crack it. That thing stuck with me, and I always thought of it as not an easy exam. I always thought that it is as good as any exam in this country, and I have to prepare very seriously. I cannot leave out any subjects. I cannot do injustice to anything, and that thing
That's
stuck with me.
absolutely true. I think so. Dr. Rakesh pushes
Yeah,
everyone to
yeah,
learn a step further, so that
yeah.
not only it helps you in cracking the exam, but also treating patients later on in your career. Great. So, you said that you watched the videos, you made your own notes. We discussed the Q bank. Were you able to finish the entire Q bank when you were preparing?
No, sir, I did not finish the entire Qbank, but as I said, major subjects I did finish the whole Qbank. Then if the questions I got it wrong, yeah, I did got it many wrongs. I wasn't able to crack it more than 90%. At beginning, I was scoring only 70% plus. Then after revisions, I was able to crack the questions better and better after each revision. And so I did take. I think the Qbank is a learning tool and not the testing tool. For the testing, you have to attempt subject-wise test and grant test. So the Qbank, the information which weren't there in the notes, I used to write it down from the Qbank that this information is not given. And if it is a previous year question, I would give, I don't know, double star marks so that I know that I have to revise it. Uh,
Excellent, excellent. And were you solving the PG Bank or the FMG Bank?
So, truth to be told, I have never solved FMG Qbank. I have always solved NEET PG. And just 1 month before exam, I switched my Qbank to FMG and only solved previous year papers. No Qbanks. I have always solved NEET PG because in the
Which
back of the
clearly
mind,
reflects in the score which you've got because you were preparing for a harder exam or a more standardized exam. That is why you were able to score so good because you had increased your level up to the PG level. And I'm sure because you've solved the NEET PG QBank, when you told me that your dream is to go into an INICT, a central institute, I'm sure next year it would help you further as well.
thank you, sir.
So, how did you deal with the bookmarked questions? If you were getting questions wrong, how did you reduce the number of bookmarks every time you were revising?
So my strategy was to reduce the bookmark questions with each revisions. Initially, the bookmark were that much that I was scared that I can't be able to complete that or solve that again. But as time passed, as revisions, multiple revision cycles happened, it got reduced and reduced, and it did help. The bookmark facility did help.
And did you participate in the marathons? So many marathons are conducted regularly.
Yeah,
Did you take part?
yes, sir. Yes, I did participate. I don't know the month, but it may be June, July, or August month, which the last marathon was held, and I participated. I think it
And
ran for 2 weeks,
mhm.
and I did solve 5 to 10 Q banks each day.
How did that help you?
Uh, so consistency, I think we are always scared of the MCQs. We learn to only read notes and not solve MCQs. We try to push it ahead and ahead, further away from us. That I will do it later. I will do it later, but the later doesn't arrive. I think marathon helps that I have to do it right now, and I think the that is
Were you
the
able to
thing.
keep that consistency going out, going throughout after the marathon got over as well?
Yeah, so my the number one target for me the day the when I start my day was to finish 100 MCQs first. The first
Okay.
thing I do by after waking up is to solve 100 MCQs. Even if I'm not able to read notes or watch a video, the first thing I have to do in a day is solve 100 MCQs. That was my goal.
Perfect. Perfect. I think so. That's such a great habit. And once it becomes a habit and you're consistent with it, then only you'll get results which are clearly showing in the marks which you've got. So, were you giving GTs and the mock tests as well, Adi?
Yes, sir. I have given every GTs in past 7 to 8 months. Even when I was in Russia studying for MBBS, I have started giving GTs. I think last November, and I have appeared for every GT Mero has taken after that.
So it's never too late or too early to give GTs, and I think so. FMGs should take a leaf out of Adi's book that you need to give GTs regularly. It will help you to sit for a stipulated amount of time. It prepares you well for the exam as well. Adi, what was your score in the mock test in the FMG mock which was conducted?
So it was, I don't know the exact score, but it was 250 plus in both the mocks.
So that is what I'm saying, that these mock tests and GTs simulate the actual exam. And you can see that he got a score of around 250 and now he's got a score of 238. So it was pretty much similar. That is why it is very important to test yourself. And he like he rightly said, the QBank is a learning tool, but the testing tool are your GTs, your mock tests, your subject-wise tests. So, Adi, one thing which I've seen and I've been teaching for many years now, but FMGs sometimes find it difficult to revise. What was your revision strategy, and what did you start doing 3 months before the exam? talk us through from 3 months before to one day before the exam. What did you do?
So as I already said that I had to get all my notes ready before coming to India. Then last 6 months I have to revise. The initial date was around the first week of December, as it is has been scheduled of this, December FMGE. So my target was that I have to give three revisions and one cycle last final revision 10 days within in last 10 days of the exam. That was my target, that I have to give three revision cycles and one final push of last 10 days, that I have to see all the videos, all the notes, just snapshots of all the things, of all the portion, I would like to say. And but then the exam got delayed by 45 days, so I was able to squeeze in one more revision cycle.
What exactly were you doing in these revisions is what I want to know.
Yeah, so the first, my first, I would like to say, a revision cycle or first read after coming back to India was a detailed reading of all the notes, going from cover to cover. And so then after it took me around 90 days, 3 months, it took me to complete the whole syllabus, main videos, or I would like to say main notes of mine. Then simultaneously, I was preparing material for my second revision. I was always trying to concise my notes with each revision, because I know that if for example, there is a 200 pages notes which it took me 5 days or 6 days to learn, then I am not able to do it in shorter span in the next cycle. So my back of the mind, I was always preparing for my final 10-day revision, and I was concising notes with each revision cycle.
So that is very important. Until unless you know what to leave out, it is actually has to be a funnel. You need to make it more concise in every revision, and then only you can bring down the time. So, like Adi was rightly doing, he had one detailed reading of your notes, and then he was more selective. He was just doing selective reading of the notes plus the questions where he was facing difficulty, and the previous year questions and the previous year topics which were there. Let's talk about the exam per se, right? Students said that the exam topics were well known topics, but the choices were confusing. It was a tricky exam. What is your take on the exam, Adi?
So my take is also same, but I was expecting this kind of paper because the trend is changing. It is going more towards the next pattern, and the last FMG paper was also similar along the lines. This time the topics were the same. They did not ask any new questions or any bouncing question that what is this? I don't know. But the options were tricky, and I think if you have solved enough MCQs and done enough practice, I think you can able to manage that.
So that is very correct. I think so. Practice makes a man perfect, which is why solving MCQs is very important, and that is one of the Achilles heel of FMG students. That they read theory, but they don't solve enough questions. So that should be the key takeaway from Adi's interview. I think so, to solve questions on a regular basis. So, Adi, what would be your advice to your juniors who are, say, in third year, fourth year, fifth year of their MBBS as an FMG? What advice would you like to give to them?
So I would like to give them only one advice, that prepare revisable notes. Don't go searching for multiple sources, and just focus on one thing. And just revise. Always plan to think to do multiple revisions and to concise notes, and don't run away from giving GTs. I have seen people running away from GTs, and they will give. And I would like to suggest that give GT when it is live. I think it is, best parameter to see where you stand among your competitors.
Great. So, what are the future plans, Adi? Once you're done with your internship, what are the future plans after that?
So I am thinking, I want to appear for Central Institute exam, INICET, and I want to get a Central Institute seat.
Great. Thank you very much, Adi, for sparing time and talking to us. It was a pleasure knowing your views regarding your preparation, and I'm sure it'll inspire so many students in the future as well. Any parting thoughts from you before we end the interview?
So I would like to thank all the whole Mero team for or their or guidance throughout the year. Some faculties get together and get live for all the exam strategies. If the exam is delayed, so you spare your time and give us strategies. And so the I think the best feature about Mero is its Qbank. I think it is not only gold standard, it is a master weapon. If you just practice enough MCQs, I think you can crack any exams, any medical entrances exam, I would like to say.
Thank you very much, Adi. All the very best for the future.
Thank you, sir.